it's Seth, your Mild Mannered Mage, and we are back with episode 50 of Breaking Boxes. And we are still in the races with Aetherdrift, Magic's race across 3 planes. And we are still off of we are 1 week out of pre-release. We have done our finish line bundle. And now we have the Play Booster Box. So this is, and I can't remember, have they already changed how many are in here? So this is our regular Play Booster Box, and I feel like, and it doesn't say on here now, I don't think. Oh, it has 30 Play Boosters, so we are already seeing that reduction in the number of play boosters that we are seeing in these boxes. And I'm double checking to see real quick what the play booster box MSRP is. MSRP. I want to say I paid like $110, I think, for it. Yeah. $110 plus tax for a play booster box. So at least the cost on it did come down, and they didn't increase the cost with the less number of packs. Now with this purchase of a play booster box, it did include this Lifecraft engine. So this was included. So it is a 3 mana vehicle. It is a 4/4 with crew 3. As this vehicle enters, choose a creature type. Vehicle creatures you control are the chosen creature type in addition to other types. Each creature you control of the chosen type other than this vehicle get +1/+1. So this is a good way to kind of boost your other vehicles, your other creatures. So this would be really good in a tribal deck. One of the commander decks for Aetherdrift is kind of a zombie tribal deck. I think it's kind of a will discard deck that will allow you to create a lot of zombies. I think this would go really good in that. So we'll look at the value there. So again, we will see what the overall value of this box is as compared to what the MSRP is. But already we have the one rare that is coming into one guaranteed rare at least that we know what it is because it came with the box. All right. So let's get into this box. Now, because this is an Aetherdrift box, we should be seeing, and let me get, well, if I can get this box open, there we go. And there it is right at the very top. It does come with a box topper. Now, the box topper will have 2 cards in it. One is going to be a land, and then the other is going to be some sort of rare card in that gold border first place foil finish that they've got going on. There are 2 ways to get box toppers. One is through the Play Booster Box or the Collector Booster Box, and then you can also get them through the Finish Line Bundles. Now, the Finish Line Bundles, as we said in our previous video, are very similar to the Nightmare Bundles from Duskmorn, where it's going to come with, I think it was 6 Play Boosters, 2 Collector Boosters, the box topper, a die, and a couple of little other odds and ends. I think with from the previous video, we may have not quite hit the MSRP of the total box. I think we were like right at the cusp of what the box was worth, but then the box topper put us right over. So I'll be interested to see what this box topper does for us with the overall value of this box. So we will keep this. Where can I put this? I'll put it right over here. There we go. So we can be reminded that that is coming up. And then we do have our stacks of 3, 6, 9, 10. 3 stacks of 10 instead of stacks of 12. We'll set that off to the side. And set this off to the side. And then set this on my other desk over here so it's out of the way. Alright. So, we've got our stacks over here off to the side. We've got our packs right here ready to go. And when we get back, we will start cracking some packs. Hang tight, and we'll be right back. And we are back with this episode of Breaking Boxes, and we are getting into our first stack of 10 play boosters of this Aetherdrift play booster box. And then waiting in the wings, we still have our box topper. So let's get into the first pack. Whew, that opened nicely. And let me get some stuff rearranged here. So I actually have a place to put these packs as we get into them. And we are about to be finned as we are visited by our Orange Plains kitty. And let me get him. And here we are. Our Orange Plains kitty. And our... Oh, there we go. And he's out of here. Okay. And we have a full art swamp. Into a foil. That is a uncommon. And then our first rare is going to be an Afterburner Expert. 3 mana, green and 2 for a Goblin Artificer. 4/2. Exhaust 2 and 2 green. Put 2 1/1 counters on this creature. Whenever you activate an exhaust ability, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay. So if you built around the exhaust mechanic, then you can use this as a blocker and then bring it back to be able to continually use that ability. Okay. Kind of fun. Then we have a Transit Mage, which I read where this finishes out that mage cycle where you can go get an artifact of a specific value. Embalmed Assistant, Rise from the Wreck, Adrenaline Jockey, and then we get into our commons. All right. Pack number 2. Ooh, and these are opening nicely. I do like how those open. We got an Insect Token, Rugged Highlands, and then another foil, a Fang Druid Summoner. That is a uncommon. Into Zahur Glory's Past. And this is a Zombie Cat Warrior for a white and black. Start your engines for a 3/2. So when it comes in, your speed becomes 1, and you have a max speed of 4. You can sacrifice another creature to surveil 1. Activate this only 1 each turn. And then if you reach a max speed of 4, which you gain speed by dealing damage to your opponents, So if you get to 4, whenever a non-token creature you control dies, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. So that allows you to sack a non-token with him, with Zahur, to surveil, and then you get a 2/2 black zombie creature token in exchange. So kind of some equivalent exchange going on there. So that's kind of fun. Into a possession engine. And then this is a 5-mana vehicle, 2 blue and 3 for a 5/5. When this enters, gain control of target creature and opponent controls as long as you control this vehicle. That creature can attack or block for as long as you control the vehicle with a crew of 3. So it allows you to yoink something away. You can't use it for anything, but, you know, it keeps your opponent from being able to utilize that creature. You know, in a game of Commander, pull their commander away. And if their deck relies on their commander to be able to do stuff, you basically turned off their board state. Island. A scrap compactor. Into a Bazooka Tomorrow's Champion. So a 1-white, 2/1 human knight. You can pay a white to tap and to exert Bazooka to create a 1/1 white cat creature token with lifelink. So an exerted creature won't untap during your next untap step. You can pay 2 and a white to cycle, so you can discard him from your hand to draw a card. And if you cycle this card, cats you control gain hexproof and indestructible until the end of your turn. So that could be a cats and owners deck. So you have some creatures and some cats, and have a way to give your cats indestructible and hexproof. Dune Drifter, Scourging Stingray, and a Road Rage, and a Ranger's Aether Hive. Alright, next pack. A little Zamboni. Plain Siphon Fuel is our foil into a Fearless Swashbuckler. So blue, red, and 1 for a Fish Pirate. 3/3. Hasty boy. Vehicles you control have the hastises. And whenever you attack, if a pirate and a vehicle attack to this combat, draw 3 cards, then discard 2. So you do have to have a pirate, and you do have to have a vehicle attacking. And then another rare in this pack, Curse Cloth Wrappings for 2 black and 2 for an artifact. Zombies you control get +1/+1, and then you can tap it. Target creature in your graveyard gains Embalm until end of turn. The Embalm cost is equal to its mana cost. So to embalm a creature, you exile that card, pay the embalm cost, and then create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a white zombie in addition to its other types, and it has no mana cost, and you can only embalm as a sorcery. So you can only do that on your turn. So because being on Amonkhet, I think we're seeing as one of the planes that this race is going across. You know, this set is kind of leaning harder into zombies. Alright, Tranquil Cove. Tyrox Saurid Tyrant as a rare, and that is a uncommon. Into a Skyseer's Chariot. White and 1 for a vehicle. 3/3. Flying. When it enters, Choose a non-land card name. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name. Cost 2 more to activate. Crew 2. Get carried away. So, you know, if your opponent has an annoying creature that has an activated ability, using this will definitely make it a lot harder for them to use that. Haunt the Network, Air Response Unit, Veteran Beast Rider, Apocalypse Runner, and then our commons. Now, I feel like I need to say, this Haunt the Network, I saw a lot of play of this during pre-release. Choose target opponent, create 2 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature tokens with flying. Then the chosen player loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of artifacts you control in an artifact heavy deck. That's going to be doing some damage. Now, it is 5 mana to cast it, but I saw this card win some games. So, just saying. Pack number 5. Dismal Backwater. Spectral Interference into a Siddharma Masked Racer for a green and blue. For a 2/3 human rogue, exhaust X, 2 green and a blue. Put X 1/1 counters on Siddharma. Then you may have the base power and toughness of each other creature you control become equal to Siddharma's power until end of turn. Activate each exhaust ability only once. So this is almost kind of like a Crater Hoof effect, where you want to maybe save that ability towards the end of turn, or to try to end the game. And, sorry, Frizzle's under my desk and sounds like she's chewing on something. Just want to make sure she's not chewing something she's not supposed to be. And then you can use that to kind of swing out at people. Beef up Siddharma, make them huge, and then make all your other creatures huge. So I could see this on almost a token go wide deck. Then we've got Muruganda Raceway. Start your engines. So your max speed is 1. If you have no max speed, tap for colorless. And then if you reach max speed, it taps for 2 colorless. Alright, and then there's that. Hang on a second, I think I know what she's doing. Are you chewing on this? Yep, you are. I had another light under my desk, and she has been chewing on it. Fantastic. So, come here, Frizzy. Here's the culprit. Chewing on stuff under my desk. All the Planesanimals causing problems today, aren't you? Yeah. But she's too cute. So, we'll give her a belly rub. Right? Say hi to everybody. Okay. Okay. So, back at it. Well, if I can get closer to my desk now. Alright, next pack. Not many left in this stack. Hang on, I'm caught on a thing. What's going on with my chair? There we go. Got caught on my rolling mat. Alright, risky shortcut into a Regal Imperiosaur. 2 green and 1. For a 5/4, other dinosaurs you control get +1/+1. Very simple for your dino decks. Let's make other dinosaurs bigger. All right. And here we go. Another pack right here. Scoured Barrens, Guided Light Optimizer, into a Bleach Bone Verge, tap stab black, and if you control a plains or swamp, adds a white mana. Good for some color fixing. And then we have Vinwick's Verbose Host. Start your engines. You have no max hand size. And if you reach max speed, if you would draw a card, draw 2 cards instead. So he is a 0/4. So for your draw decks, good way to get things to go a little faster, so that you can draw more cards. Hang on, let me just double check. Yeah, that's what I thought. Frizzle's getting into all sorts of things. Found something else to chew. Next to last pack for this stack. Nothing like too earth-shattering yet, I don't think. Oh, now here's our first mythic for the box. The Coal Stoke Gearhulk, 2 black, 2 red, and 1. For a construct, Menace and the Death Touch. When this creature enters, put target creature card with mana value 4 or less from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control with a finality counter on it. That creature gains Menace, Death Touch, and Haste. At the beginning of your next end step, exile that creature. So you can yoink something from somebody's graveyard, you get it for a turn, and then you can just swing with it or do whatever you need to with it. And you can pull that from your graveyard or any opponent's graveyard. That is pretty good in my book. All right. And that, as they say, we still have one more pack in this set of 10. Let's see what we got. And we've got a Demonic Junker, black and 6 for a 4/3 vehicle, affinity for artifacts. So the more artifacts you have, the less this costs, taking it down to just 1 black mana if you've got 6 artifacts. When this vehicle enters, for each player, destroy up to 1 target creature that player controls. Very nice. If a creature you controlled was destroyed this way. Okay, so you do have to choose yourself in that mix. Put 2 1/1 counters on this vehicle. So if you do have a board state and you do have to destroy one of your creatures, this gets a little bit bigger, so it becomes a 6/5 for crew 2. And then we also get a Repurposing Bay. Artifact, blue and 2. Pay 2, sack another artifact. Search your library for an artifact with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacked artifact's mana value. Put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Activate only as a sorcery, so only during your turn. That seems really good to go get stuff. So you could sacrifice a treasure to go get your soul ring, your sensei's divining top, and then so on and so forth. I mean, this is a good way to go get your combo pieces for artifacts. So yeah, so this is great. That's a great card. I like that. All right, and then that is that for this stack of 10 cards. So when we get back, we will. Hi everybody. When I was getting ready to cut for the next for the little break, I realized I cut off a little bit too soon. I was grabbing the mouse and hit the stop button prematurely. A little premature stopification right there. But I'm going to take this time to thank everybody for watching this video. You can support this channel by giving us a like, giving us a subscribe, turning on your notifications to help with the algorithms, so that you know when the next video drops, so you can watch the videos. As a thank you, we will throw a couple of MTG Arena codes up here for you, just as a thank you. And again, don't forget to give us a like, give us a subscribe. Watch all the videos. We have, this is our 50th episode of Breaking Boxes. I wanted to get through this episode of Breaking Boxes to finish out this Aetherdrift. This will probably be my last episode of Aetherdrift unless something comes up that I was like, oh, I have to do this. Otherwise, I got some fun stuff that I'm going to record. Just to kind of celebrate 50 videos. Also, don't forget to check out War Council and Arena Antics, and all of our other fun videos. If you've already watched them all, please go through and watch them again, because it does help with the algorithm and making sure that people can find me on the YouTubes. Don't forget to check us out on the Instagrams and the Facebooks under Mild Mannered Mage. Again, when we come back, we will get into this second pack, or this second stack of Aetherdrift play boosters. Hang tight, and we'll see you in a bit. And we are back with part 2 of our Aetherdrift play booster box opening. And we've got our second stack of play booster packs all ready and raring to go. Stack number 3 is off to the side, and we still have this box topper ready and just waiting for us to open. And we are going to be saving that for last and see if that kind of puts us over the MSRP at the very end. But in the meantime, let's get back into these booster packs with pack number 1. And we have our token, Mountain, a Grim Bobble, and that is a common, into a River Pyre Verge. Now, if you watched our episode on the Finish Line bundle, this was the box topper. This came in the Finish Line foil, or first placed foil. I can't remember how they call it. But this taps for a red mana, and then if you control a mountain, an island, or a mountain, it will tap for a blue mana. And then we've got a Country Roads, Trade the Helm, Locust Spray, and a Legoran into our commons. Still looking for that Aether Spark and some of those new gods. And then here we have our max speed token. Another mountain. Spot Cycle Scour, and another one of those fun lands. This one, the Wastewood Verge. This one, it taps for a green mana, and then if you control a swamp or a forest, it will allow you to tap for black. Great way to do some color fixing in your decks. And that's it for this pack. Alcarian Armory, Outspace Oblivion, Hour of Victory, and Wild Roads. And then into our commons. Get these straightened up a little bit. This box hasn't really had, I mean, we've already had that one mythic, but I've not really seen anything that's really jumped out at me. Again, as we go through and I'm editing this, I'll throw in the values and we'll see if there's really anything that, another mountain. Lots of mountains in this stack. But I've, again, not seen anything that's really jumped out at me from this box so far. Burnout Bastronaut for 1 red mana. For a Goblin Warrior 1/1, Menace and Start Your Engines. If you have no speed, when it comes in, starts at 1. Pay 2 mana, this creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn, and that is just a straight pay 2, so you can pump this creature a lot. And then max speed, this creature has the double strike, so you can throw a lot of mana at this creature and pump them up a lot, and if you have max speed, then you've got that double strike, so that is pretty, could be pretty terrible in a goblin style deck. And there's a lot of good gobos in this set. There is the one that makes a red mana for every goblin you control, I think. Still not quite sure what they were thinking with that particular one. Dino Dragon token. And then we've got a full art island into an Adrenaline Jockey. And then Mendicant Core Guidelight. Have not seen this card yet. A white and a blue for a legendary artifact creature robot. Star 3. Its power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. So blue-white artifacts. Start your engine. So max speed starts at 1. Or your speed starts at 1, and then you can go up to 4. And then max speed whenever you cast an artifact spell. If you pay 1, then you can copy it. Okay. So going to be doubling up on the artifacts that you control. Not a lot of, in this second stack, not seeing a lot of double ups. No multiple rares. Only have seen, I think, the one mythic so far. Is that right? Only one mythic. Yeah, we've only hit the one mythic so far, so we're bound to hit some more mythics. Just gotta find them. They're hiding in here somewhere, folks. Let's get into the next pack, and hopefully we'll see something good. We've got a Thopter, Wind-Scarred Crag, a Night Market, and then here we go. We were just talking about trying to find another mythic, and we talked one up. Loot the Pathfinder, our little fuzzy boy. Green, blue, and red and 2 for a Beast Noble. Double strike, vigilance, and the hostes. Using the new exhaust mechanic, so you can only activate each exhaust ability once. So you can pay a green to tap him to add 3 mana of any one color. Pay a blue to tap him to draw 3 cards. And then pay a red to tap him to deal 3 damage to any target. And you only get those abilities once for the entire game. Now, if something were to happen to him and he comes back onto the battlefield, then I believe you get those abilities again, but it's only once per cast. So if this was your commander and he died and then you recast, then I think you get those abilities again. Or if you were to flicker him, then you would get those abilities again. So there we go. All right. So that's 2 mythics now. And all of our commons. This stack is going pretty fast. Only 5 remain. Our art card, Tranquil Cove. A Gastow Raider into a Lumbering World Wagon, green and 2. Vehicle's power is equal to the number of lands you control. Okay, whenever this vehicle enters or attacks, you may search your library for a basic land, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. I like that. That'd be great in a landfall deck or just something that you really need to accelerate your land. And it's star 4. Power is equal to that number of lands. Crew is 4. So that could be a really large late game creature for you. Throw some trample on it, and you'd be good to go. Nesting Bot, Roadside Blowout, Pace Setter Paragon, and the Hellish Sideswipe. And our commons. 4 packs remaining. Oh, that's a pretty cool art on that art card. Jungle Hollow. And here we have a foil rare, Perilous Snare, and we've got Loot in a Cage. White N2 for an artifact, start your engines. When this artifact enters, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until this artifact leaves. Max speed, put a 1/1 counter on target creature or vehicle you control. Activate only as a sorcery. So, I mean, that's a good twofer. It allows you to exile something an opponent controls, and it also allows you to make a vehicle or a creature bigger once you hit that max speed. But again, it's getting up to that speed, and you know it's going to take you at least 3 turns to do it. When you cast something that starts your engines, and if you can deal damage that same turn, that gets you up to at least 2, and then 2 more turns to get up to 4. So 3 turns to get to max speed it's going to take you a little bit to get there. And then here we have one of the other gods, Ketramos, the New Dawn, legendary creature god, white, black, and 1, menace, lifelink, and indestructibles for a 4/4. Can't attack or block unless there are 7 or more cards in exile. Whenever 1 or more cards are put into exile from graveyards and or the battlefield during your turn, draw a card and lose 1 life. So you need a way to be able to exile cards in white and black, and I feel like especially in white and black there are some good ways to do that. And then being able to, that will allow you to attack. Plus having that menace and lifelink available so that you don't die to the card draw that he's going to give you. Oh, and then here we have one of our special guests, the Lord of the Undead. 2 black and 1 for a zombie. Other zombies you control get +1/+1. Pay a black and 1 to tap him, return target zombie card from your graveyard to your hand. And that is some funky art right there. I like it. So that was a 3-fer, I think. Into our uncommons and our commons. 3 packs remaining. Treasure, Windscarred Crag, and then another foil rare. Whenever you discard a card, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Draw a card, create a treasure. Each opponent loses 3 life. Was really thinking that this would go good in the new zombie, the zombie commander deck, if it's not already there, because you're going to be drawing cards and discarding cards. So being able to utilize this each turn to draw more cards, get treasure, and then making opponents lose 3 life. So I think that's pretty good. Another one of the land set, Willow Rush Verge. I'm not exactly sure how many of the, typically in a land cycle there's 5, so maybe there might be 5 of these in this set. I feel like we've already hit 3 of them, so we'll see how many of these we actually get. This one will come in and tap for a blue, and then if you control a forest or an island, it will tap for green. All right, and then we've got our uncommons, and then into our commons. 2 packs remaining. Our art guard, a Schwamp, foil common, and then here's another one. Sunbillow Verge comes in, taps for a white, and then if you have a mountain or a plains, it will tap for a red. Again, great mana fixing. And then we have our uncommons into some commons. And the last pack of this set, we've got a pilot, a foil art forest, a foil uncommon, into a Crypt Collar Chariot. Black and 3 for a Menache vehicle for 5/5. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, create that many tapped 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. Cruise for 2. Again, great in that upcoming, that new zombie commander deck. You know, you're going to be discarding some cards, I feel like. Or at least the way that I'm thinking about building it. Or stripping it down and rebuilding it. Discard some cards, make zombies bigger, I think. And then having this out, as you're discarding the cards, those discarded cards will turn into zombies. So there you go. And then Haunt the Network, Unswerving Sloth, Ranger's Aether Hive, and a Dracosaur Auxiliary. And then our uncommons. And there you have it. Those are our second stack of 10 Aetherdrift play boosters. So when we get back from our upcoming break, we will be in our final 10 stack of 10 play boosters for Aetherdrift. And we still have this this box topper to open up. So lots of goodies left. And in the meantime, here is an MTG Arena code. Again, just as a thank you for hanging out with me. You know, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, follow this, turn on your notifications so that you know when the next video drops. And please, go through, watch all of our past videos. If you have watched the past videos, watch them again. Help us out with those, that algorithm so that we can keep making these videos. I appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out with us as we do these videos. All right, when we get back, the final stack of 10 and the box topper from this Aetherdrift Play Booster Box. Hang tight, and we'll be right back. And we are back with this third part of Breaking Boxes, episode 50, the Aetherdrift Play Booster Box. I'm Seth, your Mild Mannered Mage, and we are again already 2 stacks deep. We're in our final set of 10 Play Booster packs, and we still have our box topper to go. We've already seen, I think, 2 or 3 mythic rares. We have found loot and one of the new gods. We've got the new god, we've got loot, and then we've got that Gear Hulk that is Rakdos colors. So maybe a couple more mythic rares to go. Still wanting that Aether Spark. Still another god, I think, floating out there. That would be pretty nice. That's the Simic god, I believe it is. So still a couple of new cards out here that we're still looking for. So hopefully we will get those in this last set of 10 packs. So ready or not, here we go. Alright, the thought don't stop. Into a Thornwood Falls. Nimble Thopterus. Just toss that off to the side. Into a River Churn Monument. Blue and 1. Pay 1 to tap it. Any number of target players each. Mill 2 cards. And then you can pay 2 blue and 2 to exhaust. Any number of target players each mill cards equal to the number of cards in their graveyards. Ooh, traumatize. Mill half your library. Then River Churn Monument exhausted. Ooh, that's nasty. That's pretty terrible. I like it. If you don't know, I cut my teeth playing Magic on a mill deck, so I love a good mill deck. So ooh, that could be fun. I like that. Into a Memory Garden, Tune-Up, Wickerfolk Indomitable, and a Point the Way. Into our commons. Alright, and pack number 2. Jungle Hollow. Oh, to our lands. Wild Roads. Into, oh, that's a nice hit right there. A Radiant Lotus. 6 mana for an artifact. Tap it to sack 1 or more artifacts. Choose a color. Target player adds 3 mana of the chosen color for each artifact sacrificed this way. So that could make your treasures now turn into 3 mana instead of 1. That could make your Thopters into 3 mana artifacts. Your clues become mana. Your foods become mana. So anything that's just kind of an artifact just kind of sitting out there chilling, now it's 3 mana for you. Oh, that's a good hit. I really am like, do I want to put this in Prosper? Get more mana in him? That's tempting. I don't know. That's a big maybe. Big maybe. Into a Draconics Engineer, red and 1 for a Goblin Artificer, 2/2. Exhaust red. Other creatures you control gain haste until end of turn. And then exhaust red and 3. Create a 4/4 red Dino Dragon creature token with flying. So for 5 mana, you could create the dragon and then give it the haste, plus put a 1/1 counter on it. That's something to think about. And on Amancot Raceway, Sky Crash, Intimidation Tactics into our commons. There's the dragon that goes with the Draconics Engineer. Dismal Backwater. Embalmed Ascendant. Into an Agnesar Rex. 2 green and 3 for a trampling 8/8 that you can cycle for a green and 2. And when you cycle this card, put 2 1/1 counters on up to 1 target creature or vehicle, and then it gets trample and indestructible until the end of turn. So nice big tramply 8/8 for 5, or you can cycle for 3 to protect something by giving it the indestructibles. Into our uncommons and our common cards. A zombie, a swamp. Ooh, and then we've got, I pulled one of these in my pre-release kit, the Oil Deep Gearhulk in foil, 2 blue, 2 black, lifelink ward, 4/4. When this creature enters, look at target player's hand. You may choose a card from it. If you do, that player discards that card, then draws a card. And so that is some nice foiling on that, and that's another mythic for us. Very nice, very nice. Like this line of Gearhulks in this set. And then we've got the Howl Squad Heavy, and we were just talking about this just a little bit ago. Red and 2 for a Goblin Mercenary. Start your engines. Other gobos you control have haste. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 red gobbo. That token attacks this turn if able. And then max speed, add 1 red for each goblin you control. In a goblin mono red deck, very easy to get to max speed quickly. And it could get out of hand with that. With that max speed bonus. Alright, and then our uncommons and our commons. The Thop Don't Stop into a Blossoming Sands. Burner Rocket, and then another Howl Squad Heavy. This in the regular art, so I won't go over it again. But there we go. Alright. Detention Chariot, Racer Scoreboard, Marauding Mako, and a Wretched Doll for our uncommons. And then our common cards. So once again, I just want to thank everybody for hanging out with me during this video. And while we go through and open all these play booster packs. As a thank you, here is yet again another MTG Arena code. Don't forget to give us a like, give us a subscribe, turn on your notifications so that you know when the next video drops. Be sure to watch our other episodes of Breaking Boxes. This is episode 50, so a nice round milestone number for us on the Mild Mannered Mage channel. Don't forget to check out War Council, our Commander Deck Tech series, as well as Arena Antics, where I go and play Arena and actually play Brawl on Arena, which is the closest that we can get to Commander in Arena, and act like I know what I'm doing on it. So, and there we go. And then if you are on the Instagram or the Facebook, be sure to follow me there, just at Mild Mannered Mage. And then you can also find me on Threads as well. All right, back to the packs. Pilot, Swamp, Loxodon Surveyor, and then Full Throttle. 2 red and 4. After the main phase, there are 2 additional combat phases. So not just 1, but 2. At the beginning of each combat this turn, untap all creatures that attacked this turn. Alright, so you get 3 combats in total. And you can untap all the creatures that attacked. So, yep, that sounds great. Haunted Hellride, Glory Heath Lynx, Sky Serpent Seeker, and a Gastel Thrill Seeker. And our uncommons. There we have another max speed token, a island stall out, and a Riptide Gearhulk. So this is our 3rd Gearhulk. So we've seen the Rakdos one, and then also the, what was the other one? The Demir one. So here we have the Azorius one. 2 white, 2 blue, and 1 for a construct. Double striking 2/5. With Prowess, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Whenever this creature enters, for each opponent, put up to 1 target non-land permanent that player controls into its owner's library, 3rd from the top. So it lets you kind of zap something back into their library. And it's for each opponent, too. So if you're in a commander pod, that really kind of affects all of your opponents. Alright. Division Unit. Detention Chariot again. Fang Druid Summoner. Boosted Sloop into our uncommons. Alright, 3 packs remain. I don't know if we're going to get that Aether Spark. We've hit a lot of Gearhulks. Full Art Mountain. Gilded Goda into a Gas Guzzler, which looks suspiciously like Ben Stiller from Mystery Men. Single black for a 2/1. Starcher Engines. Max speed, pay a black, sacrifice another creature or vehicle to draw a card. And then this creature does come in tapped. So play it turn 1, comes in tapped. And then you can untap it and attack next turn. Okay. And then stock up Sundial Dawn Tyrant, Hour of Victory, push the limit into our uncommons. 2 packs remaining. Our art card. Chandra. Scoured Barrens. Trip Up. into a spectacular pile-up. Now, I think this is a pretty good board wipe situation we've got going on. 2 white and 3. All creatures and vehicles lose indestructible until end of turn, then destroy all creatures and vehicles. I think that's pretty good because that gets around indestructible. And then you can pay 2 to cycle it. So anything that's on the board that's got indestructible, it loses indestructible. And then you can pay 2 to cycle it. So I feel like that's pretty good for 5 mana. For 2 white and 3. But that's just my opinion. Clamorous Ironclad, and then that is a common. Riverblaze, Broodheart Engine, Greenbelt Guardian, into the rest of our commons. Oops. And our final play booster pack. Here is an art card. A mountain. Earth rumbling into a bulwark ox. White and 1. Whenever this creature attacks while saddled, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Sacrifice this creature. Creatures you control with counters on them gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn, and then saddle it for 1. Tap any number of creatures you control with total power 1 or more, and then this mount becomes saddled. Alright. And then that is our last rare in this set in the regular packs. So now the real big question is, from this stack of rares and mythics, did we hit the MSRP for the box, or do we need the box topper? That's always my big question is, does this hit the MSRP, or do we really need the box topper in order to do that? Now, this box topper does have 2 cards in it. One is going to be a land in that finish line foil, or the first place foil, I think is what they call it, with that gold border. And then it is also going to have another card in it in that art. So, without further ado, this is the last card, or the last pack in this set, or in this box for me. And then there is just the card. Eyes are on the prize, and this is the prize right here. Alright, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I always hate opening these types of packs because they're so thin, because there's only 2 cards, or sometimes there's 1 card. And I always feel like I'm going to break or bend or ruin the card that's in it. So we're going to be super careful here and try not to mess anything up. Okay, there we go. I felt it give. Or I lied. I'm trying, folks. There we go. Okay, got it that time. Got there. Okay. And there we go. Here are our 2 box topper cards. And we will do the left one first, because I feel like this is going to be our land. And I was right. So there is our mountain. Doesn't really look like a mountain, but okay. So that means that this is going to be the big money card. Will this be what puts us over the MSRP for this box? Or have we already hit it? What I will do is, when I am totaling the values, and I did this for the finish line bundle, I'll show the before totals and I'll show an after total. So all of these mythics and rares together, what the value was, and then what the value is with the box topper, just so for comparison's sake. So, all right, enough stalling. Without further ado, what is our box topper? And we'll flip it over in 3, 2, 1. And we got another Mendicant Core Guidelight. We already saw this card. So white and blue. Power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. Start your engines. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you may pay 1. If you do, copy it. So there you have it. And that's got a little bit good foiling. I like the lightning is kind of foiled a little bit differently, and it kind of pops on that. And really kind of stands out. All right. So there we have it. That is the entirety of this Play Booster Box of Aetherdrift. Magic's Race across 3 planes. So, did we hit everything we wanted? Not really. We were still missing the new Simic God. Didn't hit the Aether Spark. You know, I really don't feel like... I mean, we hit some good things. We hit the Gear Hulks. We got some of the nice lands. We did get loot. That's fun. But I still feel like there's some things that I would have liked to have seen that I did not come across. Will I be buying any more Aetherdrift? Probably not. I think this is going to be my last foray into Aetherdrift. Already starting to see Final Fantasy coming across the spoilers, so looking forward to that set. The new commanders for that already look fantastic. So, in the meantime, just one last thank you. Here is one more MTG Arena code. Again, thanks for hanging out with me while we open these packs. Don't forget to give us a like, give us a subscribe, turn on notifications so you know when the next video drops. Again, feel free to go watch all the episodes of Breaking Boxes. If you already watched them all, watch them again. Help us out with that algorithm and be able to get a little bit more visibility on the channel. Once again, I'm Seth, your Mild Mannered Mage, wishing everybody happy magicking. We'll see you next time.